Magic Overtime with Dante Galante is brought to you by Tobacco Free Florida.
Bob is good. He comes around. Hey, how you doing, fellas? So I tell you guys, you're doing a great job this year. You guys are playing great. I'm going to be at all the games that I can make it to. But you guys are doing a good job. And he's pretty good on the court, too. I've seen the ball. We might need to sign him to it. Well, he can sign himself to a 10-day and get out there and he can shoot. He can light it up from the three-point line, so we might need him.
And welcome back to Magic Overtime with Dante and Galante. Well, first, your thoughts on Dwight Howard's impression, first of all.
Well, he's very kind, too, and I don't know if he was watching me on the court or someone else, but obviously I try to get in the locker room, be real, genuine. If the guys want to talk about anything specific that are kind of off-court matters, I think that's where I plug in. That's where we as a family plug in, and not to get too serious here, but I think that's the role we have. I think too many owners in our league and other pro sports leagues just leave the guys alone, and I think there are issues that we can help them with. So I try to do that. I didn't know my voice was quite like that. But, yeah, I'm going to keep meeting with the guys, talking to the guys, and more importantly, encouraging the guys.
But it is a good group of guys, though, isn't it? Is this one of the better squads you've been around as far as personalities and that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, I think we all believe here you win with a good chemistry. I think you can take it deep with good chemistry, obviously with talent, too. And this is really one of the few years I believe we've not had anybody pulling in an opposite direction. The guys are consistent. They're all focused, and they're a great group of guys. It's fun to be around them.
All right, well, there's some big news recently in your life. We're going to have you take a look at the monitor, Bob. If you could reference our Geico fan question of the week.
Hi, Bob. This is Kelly. I just heard that you received your doctorate. Is that true?
All right, Bob, we'll just answer that question. Talk about your doctorate and what that means to you.
Well, first of all, what an honor. I was very humbled. I do a ton of speaking. I did not think it would get to me like that, but when you follow the bagpipes in, you're walking with the president, the provost then drapes you with this thing, I can't even, madras or something like that, and then you go through all this kind of pomp and circumstance. I couldn't wait to get to the podium and just start speaking. They told me I had one thing I had to do. I had to speak for no longer than 8 to 10 minutes.
And how long did you speak for?
I went 16.
Right.
No longer.
But I'd have to say I thought the kids were into it. I did not get a standing ovation. The only one still to get a standing ovation was Rich DeVos 8 years ago. Pat Williams has since told me there's a way to get a standing ovation every time, and that's you say, now my fourth point and final point is so good you need to stand. And I should have worked that one. But UCF's a great institution. We're privileged to be a part of it. And I have requested my friends call me doctor just for a couple of months. But what an honor.
Do we have to call you doctor?
No, you don't. I don't know what kind of I guess I'm doctor of commerce.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about commerce.
So I don't know if that title really fits the picture that they doctored up here in the truck. I mean, this is the picture we have of Dr. Bob of Commerce. If we can take a look at that. That's fitting or no? With that?
Yeah, I got full cheeks, don't I, in that? I just got out of surgery there. It was a good day. It was my 7th surgery in a row, and everybody survived.
Maybe
so
it's that Geico pile of money that's sitting there on the table with the eyeballs that
we couldn't get him a tighter hat. We couldn't find him a tighter hat.
Well, I think it's tight enough. It's squeezing my cheeks.
Holy cow! How about that?
Oh my goodness!
Go back.
You sure that's not my brother Dave?
It does look like Dave.
That might be Dave. Man, that's tight.
Bob. Go back to the philosophy of the family a little bit. We're a very giving organization, and that all goes back to the philosophy of the DeVos family and the OMYF and the Coalition of the Homeless. I mean, the Magic have given away over $14 million since the DeVos family took over. Just talk about what giving back to the community means to you and the family.
It's a privilege to be able to give back, and we try to instill that in the players, the organization, and we've got staff all across the board who volunteer, and we're so proud of them. And I think that all comes from Rich and Helen. They say, you know what, if you have opportunity to do it, do it. You can't just hide out in the corner.
Well, it has been amazing the work that this organization and the family has done in the community. And every year, George and I have petitioned for the D&G Trust Fund. We always submit something to OMYF. Hasn't been approved yet. I think you could pull some weight up there.
Are you a 501c3? I didn't know.
Yes, we are.
We can be.
So
that's what it takes.
When did you form?
Well, we got it's going back a couple of years ago now. After our first summer league game.
I guess
we'll get you the information.
I would tell you to just submit something smaller. The one with all the zeros that you put in last year was just too much.
Just too much. All right.
Tens of dollars. We'll go for tens of dollars.
Fair enough.
That's
Hey,
what we'll go
that'll
for.
work for me. All right, Bob, are you ready for our favorite segment? Probably here on the show, it is our favorite segment. It's called What Did Hito Just Say?
Absolutely, I'm ready.
All right. Take a look at the monitor here. Actually, it's just going to be audio at first. You're not going to get to see it. You have to listen to Hito Turkoglu and give your best judgment and tell us what he just said. Go ahead and roll the audio.
Coach Shield wrote the play, and I had to just throw it out there. And Dwight, it's just a guy, like just around the rim, above the rim, and like you throw the ball, he's gonna get it. So it's just for me to just read him and make his job easier, throwing the ball where he wants.
Couldn't get anything longer?
Am I taking a shot at that?
Yeah, take a stab at that, Bob.
Well, I think Hito said he's a real player, and he tries to just throw the ball up there. I heard the word rim. That was really clear. And Dwight's unique. I think we all know that. I think that's what he said.
I think you're right there.
And I think he reiterated that probably it's good for our game to keep throwing it up to Dwight. Something like that.
You're right because you're the boss. So whatever you said right there was going to be correct. So, but here's the actual answer with a little closed captioning from our
They
staff.
got the words. They were
Yeah,
able to doctor it up.
Coach Shield wrote the play, and I had to just throw it out there. And Dwight,
I like that
it's just a guy, like
he's
just
just a guy.
around the rim, above the rim, and like you throw the ball, he's gonna get it. So it's just for me to just read him and make his job easier, throwing the ball where he wants.
Well, that's the longest clip we've ever had for what did
Probably.
you just say, right?
I certainly didn't get that first part with the Drew. I didn't
No.
get the Drew.
Well, we played with Hito a couple weeks ago, and even he didn't know what he had said. So,
Oh, I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Hito asked us, he said, what was the question? That was the actual words from Hito.
He probably asked to see his picture right away and not do it just by voice.
Right.
That was our What Did Hito Just Say segment. All right, moving on. One last segment for you, Bob, before we send you on your way. It's time for our Would You Rather question. George has doctored up a fine Would You Rather
are
question.
you ready?
Tell me
Yeah, I
how it
haven't played
works.
this game before.
Okay,
so
the game is Would You Rather. We're going to present you with two scenarios, and you have to pick one. They may not be the most comfortable scenarios, but you're going to have to pick one and give a reason why. Okay? All right, so Bob Vanderwide, would you rather?
Is this the part where you lose your job?
This could be. This could be.
I don't know that he has to really do it.
Why
but
is
if
the
he-
HR,
Did you make the question?
Why is the HR director standing right outside the door? Okay, Bob, would you rather have a big wheel as your only mode of transportation? So you ride around on a big wheel that everywhere you go, walking, that's it.
Big wheel.
Or have all of your meals prepared in an easy bake oven.
Oh, that's so easy, George. You want me to go with this question?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. Being 50 years old,
Okay.
I was probably in my young teens, and Big Wheel came out.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little tricycle with flat tires that never moved. I had a wagon, metal wagon with those same flat wheels. I had one of those farm tractors where the pedals never moved in sequence. One went left, one went right.
Right.
And then Big Wheels came out, and I was probably at that point $125 weight-wise, and never got on a big wheel. Watched kids grow up with big wheels. So if you're giving me an opportunity to eat or play, and as you know now, I've been to driving school. I'm out on that big wheel every day, and I'm probably so violent in that thing. I'm taking out people on the sidewalks.
That's correct.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe we
is
can
the
add
right
that
answer.
in. Maybe you can dribble a basketball from Michigan to Florida on a big wheel. Now we're talking. All right.
That'd have to be a big wheel.
That'd have to
be
be
a
a
big
very
wheel.
big wheel.
Well, Bob, thanks a lot. We appreciate
Thank
you
you,
coming
guys.
by here.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot for coming into
It's
the
been
studio.
fun.
And want to remind everyone, go to magicovertime.com, submit an email to get those Orlando Magic New Jersey Nets tickets coming up here in a couple of weeks. And also text 57375, keyword overtime. Mad Dog, what's coming up next?
Well, coming up next, we'll catch up with Kevin Holden, who will take you behind the scenes with Magic All-Star Dwight Howard at the Paramore Kids Zone in downtown Orlando. And before we break, we invite you to log on to OrlandoMagicShop.com, the official online store of the Orlando Magic. Tonight, we are offering you a special discount code to get $5 off any order of $20 or more. Text the word SHOP to 57375 to receive a bounce-back code to redeem your discount online. Text now because this offer expires February 4th. Magic Text is brought to you by T-Mobile.
Magic Overtime with Dante Galante is brought to you by Tobacco Free Florida.